All right, so this is Tariq Rico DaBear for the Bear Facts Podcast. We back with another edition of Tales from the Afterlife. Now, like I be saying, ladies and gentlemen, like, comment, subscribe, hit that like button, smash that like button, hit that notification bell. Anytime we upload new content, you'll be the first to know, first to see the content along with everybody else. Check out that merch on IG, DaBear Canvas Tattoo Studio. We're still looking for, artists in the Philadelphia area, all the Colleran counties, Chester, Montgomery, Bucks, Delaware, and the tri-state, PA, Delaware, Jersey. That's Camden, that's Trenton, that's Clementon, that's Cedarminton, if it's close enough. I don't know. Southeast Philadelphia. I don't be over there that much. Cherry Hill, Burlington, all that. Down in Delaware, Wilmington, Newcastle, Newark. Those goes on in the tri-state area. If you're going to make it back and forth, you know what I mean? We're looking for artists so we can move forward with grand opening. Got a lot of merch. Like I said, check out the merch. You got a lot of services on that IG promoted. We got the DJ services. We got the landscape photos that you can purchase. Scenic, urban scenic. Check out the main podcast. Check out the playlist. Prom season's coming up. Wedding season's coming up. Graduation season's coming up. Barbecue cookout cup season's coming up. Birthday season in the park season is coming up. Parties in the park. Parties on the parkway. Philadelphia festivals. The rebranding of the block party. For like 4 blocks is coming up. Hit us up. Corporate events, whatever. DaBear Negative Exposed Film. Check out those. Portfolio build, unofficial, but quality. Event photos. Check out that landscape photos for purchase. Like I said, DaBear Essentials Novelty and Smoke Shop. That's the glass engravings. That's the wood burnings. That's the smoke shop items. That's any and everything that's not on the skin retail. And then DaBear Wear Clothing Apparel. Check out them t-shirts. Check out that t-shirt brand. We got some mock-ups on there. Everything can be made to order. Hit me up in them DMs, slide, and emails. If you on YouTube, hit me up in them comments. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you don't like. I might not listen, but I still like the conversation. I'm joking, but anyway. So, you know, when it comes to the tales of the dark side, tales of the afterlife, I don't like to call it the dark side because, you know, we're in a good spot, even though we're unemployed. So, I call it tales from the afterlife. You know, you got to have that past to live in your present, and you got to have that lived experience to learn from the experiences you live from. Don't ask me. It's off the top of the dome. I don't know. But anyway, so, you know, like I said, initially, this was an unplanned segment. I was listening to some music, and a lot of times when I'm listening to music, I'm from a retrospective point of view, from a lived experience point of view, I can still relate to different things. And it started off with the one song, and then it just spawned off to me just making fun of my past. So, you know, and I feel like, yeah, I mean, I'm at a good spot now, even though, like I keep saying, I'm unemployed. But, you know, I got the businesses I'm promoting. We talked about, I did the walking tour yesterday. I talked about DaBear Essence, health and fitness, promotions, the outdoor yoga. So that's something else promoted. I don't know if I talked about DaBear Circus Clown Future type comedy club. But, you know, they all fit the recipe. I'm going to be hitting up the recipe. Check out that recipe. It's going to be a 1-part seminar today, maybe in the future more. Definitely, I don't know if I'm going to type it up and then copyright it with so much digital retail theft. I don't know if I can do that, but anyway. A lot of things promoted, but like I said, I'm feeling like I'm in a better place now than in the past. And if you go through you the Tales from the Afterlife, you see what I've overcome or what situations I've gotten myself out of, got myself past with behaviors with. Even if you check out the clinical check-ins, like you'll see a different side from the main podcast antics, and you see like the more serious topics and conversations. So like, but like right now, like I said, this podcast is pretty much for the tattoo studio and the entrepreneurial entities that I've been trying to build and establish. So it's really, like I said, I'm at a good spot. Health, wealth, well, I'm broke, so I can't say wealth, but health is wealth. Look at wealth to me. But I like to pay my bills, so that financial wealth is not superficial. It's life sustaining security. But it's a motive it's a motive for a drive of ambition, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, so like I said, it's a place where, once I get back to work, you'll see a different, more manicured, coiffed, less grays, but, I'm not ashamed of the grays, and I'm not ashamed of me. So, however I come to you, this is what you get. But, you know what I mean? Like, I like to keep my hair cut. I just can't afford it right now. But, I'm making do with what I can do. And I'm still pushing out culinary content. Like, I could honestly say in the last 20-something years, except for maybe a couple occasions a decade ago, I haven't hurt anybody. So, I feel like, and I feel like I've helped a lot of people. So, and like I said, when I joke about that, it's like, having that lived experience, I think I've redeemed myself on the earth. Like, God and judge me in the true afterlife. But yeah, I mean, I think on earth, like, turns out it's a lot of unscrupulous people in legitimate life. So, I think I'll be okay. Anyway, even though I'm joking. But anyway, so I was on the trolley or somewhere, I don't know. I was taking a tour, doing my walking tour of Bartram Gardens. And I was remembering different stuff, because like I said, I've said, sometimes I don't remember these stories. Sometimes, even when I remember them, because sometimes, like, even when I'm doing Tales from the Afterlife, I'll remember a story. And then by the time I'm telling the story I might even remember 3 stories that relate to the story I'm telling, but in a parallel way. They're like similar stories, but they're not at the same time. And then I'll forget them before I, don't ask me why. Like, my mind works faster than you would think, but, I'd be just sitting there focused on this story, and I remember a story, and then it's like, yeah, I mean, that story is gone. I don't remember it. But, like I'm saying, in this story, it was me and 2 other homies. This was, I'm going to say, my senior year in high school. So, it was one of them days I was supposed to be at school, but I wasn't. I went to high school out in Delaware County, next to Philadelphia, in PA. But it was a school day. We were in Philly. We were on 52nd and Larchwood. It was me, like I said, and 2 other homies. And like, for us, it was a normal day. I don't think either one of them were in school, but I was in school. Both of them were older than me. One of them was born in the same year, but they were in the beginning of the year. The other one was like 3 years older than me. But yeah, I wasn't in school. I just wasn't. And I failed twice, so there's that. But I did graduate. Some people were surprised about that, but that didn't bother me. I was like, nigga, I graduated. It didn't surprise me, but I don't know. Anyway, so we were on 52nd and Larchwood at the Malcolm X Park out there, and we were sitting there chilling on the benches, and we were busting up, shooting and shit, talking shit, and like one of the people I was chilling with was like, "Yo, is that a cop?" I'm like, "What? Where?" And I start looking around, and I don't see nobody now. The park at that time, they fixed the park up, but the park wasn't like messed up back then. But they did fix the park up. Like it was what it was, but like it's probably more people, and it's definitely more colorful. It wasn't like a rundown park that you might think of, and think of like Hood Tales, I don't know. And it wasn't like, I can't say it was full. I can't say certain things like, I know there was probably other people out there rolling up, I'll put it like that, but I can't say it was just littered with, you know what I mean? But they did put more like kid-oriented things and jungle gyms and like in the last 10 years, and that was like 15 years ago. So, we were sitting there chilling. It was the middle of the day. It was a nice day, too. It was a nice, I don't know why that comes to my mind, but it was a nice day. So we sitting there, and one of my homies is like, "Is that a cop?" And I'm like, "Where?" And I'm starting to look on the street. So I'm looking on the street, and like I got reefer in my hand, and I think one of my other homies is rolling up too. And like I said, this is like 15 years. I said 15 years. It had to be 20 plus because I've been out of school for a while. So this is like 24, 25 years ago. So I'm rolling up, another homie rolling up, another boy spot the cop. And I'm looking at the street like it's a park in the city. So like it's a square block surrounded by streets. And I'm looking at all the streets in the direction the boy looking in. And then my other homie, he like, where too? But then he spot him and he dumped this shit. I'm like, look, what's wrong with y'all? I don't see nothing. Like, I don't see nothing. I'm like, all right, whatever, yeah, man. And I'm not trying to be tough right now, nothing. I ain't gonna say I was blind, but what I was expecting wasn't what I was expecting. So like, I'm still scouring the streets. I can't remember if this nigga pulled up and hopped off a bike. For some reason, I'm thinking it was a bike cop, but no, like, I just knew, like, by the time I, like, tossed the shit, the bull was, like, right on top of us, and he was like, yeah, I mean, I think he did pull up on a bike, and, I just tossed the stuff, like, right there, like, yeah, I mean, I think even afterwards, everybody knew where they tossed their stuff and was like, yeah, I mean, but anyway, so I tossed my stuff at the very last minute because to me, I'm still looking on the streets and we in the middle of the park on the benches. And the boy, he like ride up and like hop off the bike, I think. I'm not sure, but he was like right on the bench, like when I threw my John. And I'm like, what the fuck? Where the hell did this nigga come from? Because like, I didn't see I'm looking for a cop car. I'm looking for a cop. You know what I mean? That's big physical, but the first boy, he spotted the cop from the rip, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I don't see nothing, yeah, I mean, but, so the cop has us sit down on the bench or stand by the benches, whatever. He grilling us like for a good 30 minutes. And the reason why it stands out to me, because like, yeah, I mean, like I was saying, I was taking a walking tour of Bartram Garden. I had some other thoughts of Tales from the Afterlife, but like, I don't know if I would tell some of them because that's just doing certain things while I'm doing certain things, talking shit with certain people, or they're talking shit while we're doing certain things, so it's not really that. But like, yeah, I mean, in this case, it was like, it was really just like, for me, it was weird because it's like, yeah, I mean, when the cop rolled up, like, I can't say the cop was cool or nothing, but the cop was on something like, yeah, I mean, like, Like they was, I don't remember if it was two cops or one, but the boy was pressing us. The boy was pressing us hard. And it's understandable because, like, you know what I mean? Even though I was saying, like, the park wasn't full of people selling drugs, but, you know what I mean? It was a park back then that was probably, like, you know what I mean? I know we weren't the only people rolling up, and they probably did have some work on them. And like I said, at that point in time, somebody probably would have had to work, but I guess it was a lucky day. I've had 100 lucky days in my life. Like I can go on a lucky day countdown because like I've always seen, and I've never, and I'm only saying this because I don't care at this point because I'm completely legit, and I don't care at this point because I know too many snitches, so I don't care. But I know people probably thought I was snitching at different times because I've never gotten caught for a lot of things in my adult life. Like I joke about locker room, like, you know, you got your sandbox homies and then you got your locker room homies, or at least I did. And I joke about that because, like, a lot of people I was chilling with, like, I chill with a lot of different people throughout my life, but, like, the core group of friends or people I chilled with for, like, over 20 years up until a point was, like, people I was chilling with in high school and junior high and stuff like that. So I joke about the locker room boys. But, and then, you know, it is what it is. You just wasn't with me around from the sandbox. Same kind of, you know what I mean, to me. But the reason why I say that is because, like, you know what I mean, like, I don't remember. But it's like I was saying, like, a lot of times, like, when I was young, I got caught for everything. When I was young, I got caught for everything. I just didn't care. I didn't care as a young knucklehead, hard-headed. I got caught for everything. Like, there was nothing I got away with. And it wasn't like I was trying to get caught. It was nothing I got away with. So, like I know, the older I got, the less trouble I wanted to get and the less attention I wanted drawn on me. But in different situations, it was just like always the same thing. Like I would get pulled over at points. I don't know if I went over that, but at points I would get pulled over by cops just walking while black, not even driving, just walking while black. And it's like, I ain't even got nothing on me. But it's like, you know what I mean? Even at those times, I say I was lucky because usually, if at the least, I would have had something to smoke. You get what I'm saying? And I say I was lucky because back then, it would be like, yeah, I would have been probably, I don't know, or somebody I was with. But this is like, and that's the weird, messed up thing because, like, you know what I mean? It was a couple times people I was with had stuff and I didn't. And it's just like an off day. But anyway, this one day, like, we just, like, I know the one boy might not have had nothing because I never knew him for selling nothing. Like, you know what I mean? I always knew him for jack of all trades stuff. And I was like, that's who he was. But that's just how I knew him. I never knew him for selling stuff. Now, I stopped selling at like 21, 22. So like I'm 42 now. So that was 20 years ago. I don't know what dudes got into since then as far as illegally. Besides dudes I was really doing stuff with in high school or around while they was doing stuff in high school. Now, yeah, I mean, it's just that's not a disrespectful thing. That's just what it was. Certain people I never expected to do nothing illegal, but yeah, I mean, I don't know, whatever. That's their to tell. But anyway, the whole point of that is like, yeah, I mean, on this day, nobody had nothing. We just had stuff to smoke. So it always stood out to me, like, and it was funny to me because the bull was pressing us. Like the cop bull was pressing us. He was pressing us, and he was like on it. But the funny thing was, he was like, I don't give a fuck about no reefer. And we had already, like, we threw the reefer and we like balled up the weed in the blunt that wasn't even rolled yet and tossed it. But we tossed it, like I said, somewhere we could see it. But the bull was like he would not let us go. He was tapping our pockets like 4 or 5 times, like, yo, ain't no way y'all ain't out here selling crack. Where the crack at? Like, he was searching around the bench. He did everything but bring the dogs out. And it's like, no. And we standing there like, no. Like, and like I said, for me, it's weird because, like, you know what I mean? I've been in, like, for me, it's weird all the time because it's like I'm usually every time like that during this time period when I was a teenager, I was always the one that was on an off day. If I was doing anything, it was an off day. Like, except for the one time I got robbed, like, you know what I mean? As far as the cops, as a teenager, it was like, you know what I mean? Because I know people have said it over the last, like, decade, like, man, you don't even got no no real risk record. Like, people in my personal life, people in my private life, like, yeah, I mean, you make comments, but it's like I don't care. Like, that's not going to hurt my feelings. I'm not going to go out and commit a shoplift to get more charges. Like, what the hell are you thinking? Like, I don't know. I don't know. I didn't know the point of criminality was to get caught. I'm good on that. But I'm not even a criminal no more. But, like, yeah, I mean, I joke because, like I said, like, and I joke, like, thank God, because, like, for whatever reason, and like I said, that might lend to people being in people's ears, like, yo, Rick was snitching, man. No. And I don't care what you think now anyway. Dudes know how I feel. Like, dudes know how I feel. Like, when they come to whatever you want to say, dudes know how I feel. So, dudes know how I feel. The podcast probably know how I feel. I'm joking, but I'm not joking. The podcast know how I feel. Like, yeah, I mean, so anyway, so like, for whatever reason, because it had to be like 6, 7, 9 times, and not even including when they was like stopping me while walking while black for whatever, like that somebody was snitching in, and luckily I just was walking to the bus or the trolley or whatever, and they had pulled me over. That was like 20 years ago, and they were like, nope, not normal. And even when I get stopped by cops now, it's like, I mean, that's just my attitude. Like, some people hate that. Some people hate that, but it's like, I mean, and it's weirder for me when legit people hate it. And I get the police shootings and stuff like that, but like, I'm like, nigga, like, I ain't doing nothing wrong. I come from, all I was doing was wrong. So it's like, oh, hi, officer. Yeah, let me get my. How's your day? You hate that all you want. That's what, like, I got a joke where I said I could 0 to 60 a cop right after I get a ticket. Like, that's where that come from. Like, how you doing, officer? Like, I was thinking, like, what can you possibly do to me? And I'm not thinking police shoot me, because I don't. That's not a shootable offense. Like, you might pull me out the car and make me take a breathalyzer. Like, why would you do that? Because I'm clean and I'm not. I ain't got no crime. So do you give me a second ticket? I don't think that's a lock-upable offense. It's just another speeding ticket. Like, I don't know. Now, that's a joke. Don't try to test that unless you got like millions in bail money and some shit like that. It might aggravate a police shooting. I'm not endorsing that. I'm just saying, like, you know what I mean? Like, I just be like, you know what I mean? I'm living regular, so, like, you know what I mean? Catch me riding dirty never. I'm just saying, like, that's just what it is. So I'm joking when I say that. But, and it's like, I've had people I was in love with, like, you know what I mean, be mad at me for certain things, but it's like, nigga, all I know is, like, ducking cops, running from cops, and being nervous if cops is around. Like, nigga, I was like, what up, officer? I'm good. Like, you good? I'll see you when I see you. It probably won't be tomorrow, because I don't be doing nothing. Hopefully ain't nothing being done to me. If so, I got you. I'll call you. I'm legit. I'm not playing with y'all. I'm not playing with y'all. Like, I'm like any other citizen. I'm not playing with y'all. I played the streets and was loyal to the streets that's trying to cybercrime me to death. I'm not playing with niggas. But anyway, back to my story. So the boy's pressing us. The boy's like, yo, he like, this nigga like a jack boy. I'm joking, but this is how aggressive he is. He like going in our pockets. He like shaking my legs. Like, I'm like, whoa. They like, where the crack at? Like, I know y'all got the rock. Where the rock at? And I'm saying it like that because that's how he was saying it. I don't get it wrong. Like, the boy wasn't acting like he was like fiending or nothing. But like, from my, I don't know, comedically you might think of that, but no, because I think the boy was just doing his job. But it was just funny. The boy was like, we don't even care, or I don't even care about the weed. I know you got reefer out here, but we care about the crack. Like, and we was just sitting there like the whole time, like, no, ain't nobody got nothing. And it just like, it like for a good 40 minutes, it wouldn't click with this boy. So like, the whole time I'm thinking, like, you know what I mean, he gonna probably find the reefer and we gonna get taken to the station or some shit. Like, I don't know if I was thinking nothing about skipping school. I doubt it. And I doubt it now because, like, the two of them were older than me and it was my senior year. So it was being like, yeah, I mean, yeah, he probably just assumed that, yeah, I mean, we was old enough to be out of school on a weekday, whatever. But I don't know. We had came from the homie brother crib down the street. But, I don't know, like, that was just a funny story to me. I don't know. Like I said, I was walking. I was going to the gardens, part of Bartram Gardens, in my where they got the whole check that walking tour out, and I was just like I said, thinking of doing when I was in places where I was chilling and relaxing and stuff like that, and then different things came to my mind while I'm making silly comments and jokes. And it's like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, I got a couple tales from the afterlife. Like I said, when I'm in certain things, so you might not hear too many things. Something gotta come to mind. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It was a lot of I don't know. That was a weird experience for me. I don't know if I could paint that picture. The benches are blue and red. There's grass all around the park. There's entranceways from various walkways at basically 12, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, and 9, and 11. It was probably a lightly populated park day. It was probably some children out there in the middle of the day, but probably not many. The park is very vibrant now. It's a very nice park in a very nice, affluently black area. It was very, very nice now. Like, I'm not saying it wasn't then. It was a nice day then. I'm just saying, I don't know. It was just what it was. We were just sitting on the benches and the ball rolled up. And I don't know why that was funny to me yesterday, but I'm going to still add this and upload it. So, like, comment, subscribe, share your tales of the afterlife, your joyous criminal recovery, mental health recovery, substance abuse recovery. Tell me the tales, comment and tell me the tales of triumphs, funny failures, if you look at it like that, stuff that isn't going to re-traumatize you, stuff that you're proud that you survived, proud that you got through. I'm not going to say away with, like, you know what I mean? Different things, like, you know what I mean? Like, comment, subscribe. Let's get that conversation going. Tell me if you like the segment. Tell me if you hate the segment. I probably won't listen because, like I said, it's funny for me to make fun of my past. So, you know what I mean? I ain't no preacher, but, you know what I mean? Like, I'm definitely living the right path. So, you know what I mean? My history can't be erased. Like, people can lie about it. I don't be caring enough to lie. Like, the only thing I can do is mainly not talk about it so you can't exploit it. But other than that, I could care less. I am who I am today. Today is the present. The future is tomorrow. The past don't really mean nothing, but I mean, cautionary tales. I was thinking about that yesterday too. When, I don't know if I said that during the walking tour, but, like, you know what I mean? I was talking about something during something. No, I was cooking, which I need to get back on my Fat Boy Foodie Home Editions. Check out the playlist on the Fat Boy Foodie Home Editions. But I was thinking about something that I think was a powerful cautionary tale. They are just cautionary tales at this point, and stuff for me to laugh at and make fun of, because I'm a silly dude. You can tell that by the podcast, but I can't remember what it was, but like I said, I don't be ashamed. It's just, I'm not going to let people exploit things that unnecessarily, like, but I'm not going to lie to nobody either. Like, I've had a time where I didn't know in certain situations if certain things would get back to certain people, but I didn't want, and like for me, it wasn't a major thing. It wasn't a major disclosure. It wasn't a major share, but exploited and skewed and exaggerated, it could hurt a person or change a person's opinion. Like, for me, it was like, I just don't like, for me, either way, is lying going to damage the people I'm trying to give truthful testimony to? And this ain't court, so don't, but is lying going to, basically, I had to choose from, like, in my personal life, it's like, yeah, this might get to back to my personal life and somebody might exploit it. But in my professional life, they would definitely exploit it. And I don't just worry about me as a therapist, as a counselor, as a clinician. I don't just worry about me in this setting. So it's like, yeah, I mean, I'll tell you the truth. So, because I know even if I admit or omit, even if I omit something or skip something, it'll be used against me because like I'm in a certain weird situation. So like any leverage some people think they have, they'll be like, yeah, I mean, so he's lying to you. He lied this whole time. He said this, and that, and he didn't tell you the truth about. So it's like, yeah, I mean, like I said, at that point I had to decide, like, yeah, I mean, even if I did something one time and the person would exploit it in my personal life, is it worth them trying to hurt my clients by saying dumb stuff in my professional life? And it's like, yeah, I mean, like, I would think, like, yeah, I mean, if a person really cares about me, like, yeah, I mean, there's not going to be too much damage control. First of all, if you care about somebody, this is my eternal thinking, but I don't think people do this. You check that motherfucker, like, look, like, what? Like, listen, I don't know what they told you. I don't know. Like, that's just my shit. Like, yeah, I mean, they keep running to you keep running to me, telling me all the whole ass shit. Like, I should slap the shit out you.